What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. The Phillies win this series over the Pittsburgh Pirates. They win the first 3 games of this 4-game set. They have a chance to sweep tomorrow with Nola on the mound. They once again win in extra innings, this time by a score of 2-1. Corey Knebel, I thought he was very excellent in the bottom of the 9th and the bottom of the 10th. Ranger Suarez, I also thought he had another very excellent start. He struck out 8 batters in this ball game. One of the criticisms I do have for the Phillies in this ballgame, timely hits. They had bases loaded in the top of the first inning. They weren't able to get the runs home. They had, runners in scoring position basically a lot of the time throughout this ball game. Really weren't able to come up with those hits. Just were not able to at all. And then you get the home run by JT. That always helps. Always love to appreciate a home run. Always appreciate a home run by JT. And then you take advantage of the Pirates' mistakes in the 10th inning. You do. You definitely take advantage of those. Could have knocked on more, but Corey Knebel was able to do the job in the 10th. But the base running in this game as well was not good. There was a lot of poor base running in this game. You see Bryce and Stott getting, doubled up as, there's a line out, and then he gets doubled up to first base. Kyle Schwarber on a ground ball gets caught on a rundown. Rhys Hoskins gets picked off at first. Even the Pirates had their share of base running blunders, but that's honestly expected because they're the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're a bad team. And Oneil Cruz in that 10th inning, I had no idea what he was doing. I honestly had no idea. It was the easiest pickoff attempt in the world in Corey Knebel's career, probably, because I have no idea what Oneil Cruz was doing. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I have no idea. I just can't explain it. I can only explain it. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates. And hey, a win is a win is a win is a win. And you take wins any way you can get them. And you got away making a ton of mistakes in this ball game. Don't do it again, but you got away with a lot of them. But I'm not going to, killing them deeply. They still won the ball game. They won the series, and you have a chance to sweep tomorrow. You basically have a chance to put a needle in the coffin. So, there you go. There you go. Needle in the coffin. What the hell was that analogy? Is that even a proper analogy? I have no idea what the hell I'm thinking at this point, but still. It was a weird game, so I guess you can expect a little weirdness here. That's basically all it was. With all the runners getting picked off, all the base running blunders and all that crap. It was a little bit of a weird game, okay? Jose Alvarado also did give up a home run, but at that point, I know Alvarado gave up the home run in the 7th to tie the ball game up, but it's kind of hard to blame him when you're only scoring 1 run in the game against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and basically everyone had to go perfect. But besides that, the rest of the bullpen was dominant. Ranger Suarez, there were a couple of jams, but he managed to get out of those. He did, and he struck out a lot of batters. Pitches looked very good, off-speed pitches, getting guys to swing and miss, chase, and everything like that. So Ranger Suarez had this is 3 starts in a row now by Ranger that had been really good. So it's really nice to see Ranger having these good outings. He had the good outing against the Miami Marlins before going into the All-Star break. Then he had the start against the Atlanta Braves, which was really solid. And now this start right here, another solid start by Ranger. So it looks like he's starting to get a little better. Still didn't go really deep into the ball game. He only went 6 innings. The pitch count was at 84. Maybe the back spasms still have a thing in there, maybe why he's getting fatigued a little, maybe so early. So there's something you got to think about that. But still, overall, Ranger Suarez stat line today: 6 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts on 84 pitches. ERA drops to 3.6. So overall, you take it. Really good start by Ranger Suarez. Looking at the rest of the bullpen, Jose Alvarado, he gave up the home run, but he still only needed 13 pitches to get out of that inning. Like I said, I'm not going to fully blame Alvarado, even though he got the first 2 outs of the inning. Then he fell 2-0 behind to that batter, and then he allowed the home run on the pitch right down the middle of the plate. But you only scored 1 run at that point. And yes, even a bad team like the Pirates, they're going to score maybe 1 run. And that happened to be the case. Bilotti came in for the 8th inning, strikes out the side. He looked excellent out there. And Corey Knebel pitches 2 innings and gets a save. 2 innings pitched, 24 pitches, and 2 strikeouts. Honestly, this was the best Corey Knebel has looked basically all year in this specific outing. And he's on a scoreless streak right now, which is really good. Corey Knebel has looked really good lately, and that is very nice to see something shaping up right there. He struggled a lot at the beginning of the year in that closer role, but maybe it's kind of like a Hector Neris situation. You know, last year Hector Neris in the closer role really struggled, but then basically when he moved down into the bullpen, into that 8th, into that 7th inning, he became a really dominant pitcher. And Corey Knebel looks like he's a lot better in that 7th, 8th inning role. But he got the call today for the 9th and the 10th inning, and he came through. Thankfully, the base running by O'Neill Cruz also helped in that case, but still, you take that any day of the week. You do. So if you go through this ball game, first inning, you get the bases loaded. Kyle Schwarber leads off with a walk. Rhys Hoskins singles. It was sad to see Alec Boehm's hitting streak end, but he'll bounce right back. He went, what in this game? He went over 4. So, yeah, it was bound to end. It was like a 14-plus game hitting streak. So it was bound to end, but Boehm will bounce back with the way he's been hitting this month. But still, you get bases loaded. JT walks to load the bases up. Nick Castellanos works it to a full count. No, actually, he works it to a 2-2 count. Takes a straight on the outside corner, strikes out, and then Derek Hall strikes out as well. So 2 strikeouts to end the inning right there. 1 out, bases loaded. You don't get anything in there. Nick Castellanos with a lot of poor at-bats in this game as well. Ranger looking very good as well. Bryson Stott had a single in the top of the second. The Phillies actually had the leadoff runner in the first 4 innings of this ball game. Kyle Schwarber led off with the game with a walk. Bryson Stott led off the second with a single that eventually turned into a double play, where he eventually got caught up in that, line out. Then he got doubled up at first base. Kyle Schwarber doubled to lead off the top of the third, but then you get Rhys Hoskins grounding into a fielder's choice. Okay, Hayes does make a nice grab in the third base corner, but Kyle Schwarber, not reading the play right, gets caught into a rundown. So he gets out there. JT eventually gets another single. He makes it first and second for Nick Castellanos, and Nick Castellanos grounds onto a fielder's choice. So that's another runner in scoring position opportunity failed in that instance. Derek Hall led off the 4th with a walk, and then eventually fielder's choice. Didi Gregorius gets out, and then Matt Vierling grounds out when Bryson Stott stole second base. Bottom of the 4th, this is where Ranger got into a little bit of trouble. He gets the first 2 guys out, walks Hayes, Chavez singles, and then Gamble gets hit by the pitch. Manages to get Castillo to fly out, though. So, no harm, no done there. Phillies go 1-2-3 in the 5th. Pirates go 1-2-3 in the 5th. Then you go to the top of the 6th. JT Realmuto leads off, opposite field shot, goes over the wall, solo shot, makes it a 1-0 Phillies lead. Like seeing that from JT going the other way, using the power there. And JT, honestly, in the batter's box over the past couple of weeks, and even it's basically since Bryce Harper got hurt, JT has been a lot better in the batter's box. And it kind of looks like he's getting his timing back, which is really huge for this team. Now you kind of hope that Nick Castellanos eventually figures it the hell out. I don't know if he ever will. Like sometimes you'll see him go, like he has these multi-hit, 2-hit, 3-hit nights, and then, it just reverts right back to, oh boy, Nick Castellanos is still in the funk. You think that one multi-hit game would probably get him out of it. Nope. And he still hasn't hit a home run in the month of July. Still hasn't. Tomorrow's the last day, July 31st. Will he do it once again like he did in June? Hit the home run on the final day of the month? Or is he going to go homerless in the month of July? Yeah, it's getting ugly. Getting ugly for Nick Castellanos. Bottom of the 6th. Ranger got into a little bit of trouble again, but he managed to get out of that situation as well. Top of the 7th. Phillies go down 1-2. Well, not 1-2-3. Didi did lead off with a single, but eventually a double play did happen. Bottom of the 7th inning. Jose Alvarado out there on the mound. Gets the first 2 outs. Then Mitchell comes up to the plate. 2-0 count, basically throws first 2 straight balls. And then there's a sinker right down the middle of the plate. Didn't really have much. It was a 98-mile-an-hour sinker. Really, you see Jose Alvarado's sinker top at maybe like 100, 101, 102 at best. Didn't go over 100, and Mitchell basically barreled it up, sent it over the right field wall, crushed it. Well, actually went to the first row, but it was also a nice catch by the fan out there, but still. Ties the ball game up at 1, and something that you don't like to see at that point. But still, tied ball game. Phillies going to the top of the 8th. JT with a 2-out walk turns into nothing. Bilotti comes in for the bottom of the eighth. Like I said, he strikes out the side, looked really good. Phillies in the top of the ninth, they don't do anything. Corey Knebel comes out for the bottom of the ninth, gets the 1-2-3 inning right there. Phillies go top of the 10th. So, ghost runner out on the plate. Didi was the ghost runner since he was the last guy to bat in the top of the ninth inning. So, Didi's the ghost runner. Matt Vierling working up a nice at bat here. 6-pitch at bat. Grounds it to the first baseman. And then Brian Hayes over at third base. The throw was bad, but also Hayes did make the catch at first, but the ball trickled out of his glove, went to the dugout. Didi scores on it. Matt Vierling goes to second base. Phillies take the lead. You'll take that any day of the week. Thank you, Pirates, for being the Pirates. But then Schwarber grounds out. Vierling goes over the third base. But then Rhys Hoskins, not the best base running here by Matt Vierling either. It was a hard hit ball by Rhys, but it goes right back to the pitcher. Matt Vierling was running on contact for some reason, and it's an easy out at home base. Rhys Hoskins goes to first, and then eventually Alec Bohm gets out to end the inning. So you could have tacked on a second run, but the base running there by Matt Vierling definitely wasn't the best. Then you go bottom 10. O'Neill Cruz, the ghost runner there. It was an easy out. Way an easy out. And it's funny, too. Knebel technically only faced 2 batters in the bottom of the 10th. Thank you, Ghost Runner, for getting us that easy out. I have no idea what O'Neill Cruz was doing at second. I really don't. I really do not know what O'Neill Cruz was thinking at second base. Literally, Corey Knebel, he goes into his motion, and then he turns around, and O'Neill Cruz is just like flabbergasted, and he's frozen, and it's literally the easiest pickoff in the world. He doesn't even try to go to third base. He just he freezes, then the ball's in Bryce and Stott's glove, and then he tries to go to second base. It's just like, well, what is Cruz doing there? But hey, Phillies take it. Phillies take it. And then Knebel gets the last 2 outs easily. Very easily. So overall, yeah. It's a very sloppy ball game. It was. A lot of bad base running on both sides. Both sides. Phillies no timely hits. But a win is a win is a win is a win. And you take those any day of the week, and you do win the series. And you have a chance to sweep tomorrow with Aaron Nola on the bump. Looking at the Phillies lineup, Kyle Schwarber, he goes 1 for 4. Rhys Hoskins, 1 for 4. Alec Bohm's hitting streak ends. He goes over 4. Average is still around the 292 mark. JT Realmuto had a great day at the plate. Goes 2 for 2 with a solo shot and also added 2 walks in there. So a fantastic day at the plate for JT. Nick Castellanos, bad day at the plate, over 4, 2 strikeouts. Like seriously, it feels like any point that some days you'll see Nick Castellanos have a runner in scoring position. Oh, boom, there's a single, scores a run. And then he puts up the ugliest bats in the world sometimes, the runner's in scoring position, and it's literally an easy out. So you can just guess it. Okay, the pitcher's probably going to throw a first pitch slider outside or down low. Yep, there goes Nick Castellanos chasing it, and then he chases it again, and then he chases it again, and then he chases it again. I can't get a reading here. I just can't. You want to say, oh, maybe this is the game that does it. Nope. Reverted right back into where we are. Sadly. Bryson Stott goes 1 for 4. Derek Hall over 3 with a walk. Didi Gregorius 1 for 4. And Matt Vierling over 4 in this ballgame. Phillies technically go 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Runs come from the home run by JT and the error by the first baseman of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Chavis. So take it when you get it, I guess. Like I said, it was a very sloppy ball game. Very sloppy overall. But the Phillies, they're now 54-47 on the year. They are 7 games above 500, which I believe is their best so far this season, being 7 games above 500. That's the highest they've been above 500 this year. So it's nice to see. And the Phillies technically are taking care of business against a bad team, which they desperately needed to. They won the series, and now you have a chance to sweep. And if you're looking at tomorrow's pitching matchup, like I said, you're going to have Aaron Nola going on the bump against JT Brubaker. And looking at Brubaker's last couple of starts, looking at his stats overall, he is 2-8 on the year, 3.96 ERA, 101 strikeouts, a 1.43 whip. Looking at his past couple of games against the Cubs on the 25th of July, 2 earned runs. Against Miami, 0 earned runs. Against Milwaukee, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs. So your offense needs to be better tomorrow, no doubt. And I think they will be better tomorrow. I think this was just a fluky type of day, even though they still won the ball game. I think they'll be better tomorrow. I think they will. Offense kind of went quiet in these past couple of games, and you still managed to win because you are facing the Pirates. But I do think the offense tomorrow will be better, and then eventually you'll have the off day before the trade deadline. Even though the Phillies did make a trade today, so let's go over that actually, because it was a minor deal, but it was to add some defensive depth to the team and add some depth to the bench. So if I go to what happened earlier in this ball game, so there are a couple of moves. So Kyle Gibson, he was placed on the bereavement list, so I hope everything is okay with him and his family. Hopefully everything is doing well with him. I know the bereavement list means that it's a leave of absence for the loss of for a family member, so hopefully everything's okay. And then the Phillies eventually, I think they also said that Kyle Gibson is not going to make his start on Tuesday in Atlanta, and the Phillies are going to be using a bullpen game against the Braves on Tuesday. So, yeah, that's not going to be pretty. But the bigger move, quote-unquote bigger, because the Phillies did make a trade today before today's ball game. So the Phillies acquired shortstop Edmundo Sosa from the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for left-hander reliever Jojo Romero. Phillies president of baseball operations Dave Dombrowski announced today. So basically looking at Sosa, from what I see on Twitter and everything like that, he has an A+ glove, but his bat's not the best overall. So if I go to his stats overall, this year he's batting 189, 0 home runs for the Cardinals, but overall his fielding is fantastic. So I know a lot of people are like, why would you trade Jojo Romero away? Jojo Romero is not that good. Jojo Romero is not good. I know, like, he had that stretch during the COVID-shortened season where he had a lot of scoreless innings, but overall his career, he has a 7.89 ERA, just over 25 games played. Just overall, and this year, even though he's only had a couple of appearances, he's only had 2, but his 1 appearance basically spurred up all of his earned runs. He has a 13.5 earned run average this year, even though, like I said, he only has 2 appearances this year. But I feel like a lot of people got attached to him because of that one, like, clip of him coming out of the bullpen and he cracks the Red Bull can on his arm when he's like chugging the Red Bull coming out of the bullpen, then he smashes it on his arm coming out of the bullpen. I feel like a lot of people got attached to that. So, but overall, I'm fine with the trade overall. Like, yeah, Sosa isn't the best hitter, but it's basically, he's not going to play every day. He's not. He's going to be basically a guy that's a defensive replacement for later innings in the ball game. Maybe he'll get a spot start on a rare occasion. Basically the same situation of what Camargo did. Camargo got those spot starts here and there, and then he eventually sometimes would come in as a defensive replacement. That's basically what Sosa is. Yeah, the bat's not the best, but you improved your defense there, especially when you need to bring someone in for the later innings. So I'm fine with the move overall. He could play shortstop, he could play second base, and he could play third base. So that's a good, he could play basically all over the diamond at that point, besides first, but the important positions in diamond. So overall, I'm fine with the move. And then the Phillies are eventually going to make another move for a starting pitcher eventually. We all know they're going to get a starting pitcher. So it's basically a matter of time at that point. I would assume for the starting pitching range, you're most likely not going to see a starting pitcher trade. Maybe you'll see one tomorrow. Maybe you'll see one on Monday when they have the day off. So basically, you got to wait and see. There are rumors about Syndergaard. There's rumors about Quintana, who they faced yesterday. Of course, you got Merrill Kelly out there. There's a lot of names that the Phillies go after. Syndergaard is definitely an intriguing piece. Makes what is his contract like? Noah Syndergaard. If I look at him, his contract this year, he signed a 1-year, $21 million contract with the Angels. And looking at his numbers this year, if you're looking for a Noah Syndergaard, been solid overall, especially when he missed the entire year, basically, of baseball. He's 5-8 this year with the Angels, 3.83 ERA, 64 strikeouts, and a WHIP of 1.21, 80 innings pitched. So overall, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid too. If you look at his FIP, which is basically like, something that's also related to ERA, like FIP can basically mean like something for, I believe it's, what is it, fielding independent pitching or something like that. So his FIP is like around 3.6, which is still pretty solid too. So his FIP this year, that's actually the Mets. So if I go to the Angels, his FIP is 3.96. So basically like right around where his ERA is. So overall, he's having a pretty solid year. Looking at his strikeouts per 9, they're a little down, but I guess that's expected when his velocity is down, especially after coming off of the injury that he had. And he basically missed an entire season. I think with Syndergaard, it's basically a low-risk, high-reward type of move, I would say. That's what the Angels went for. And overall, he's been solid. And I wouldn't mind if the Phillies tried to pick him up. I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't mind if the Phillies tried to pick him up. Same, like if they were to go after a Quintana, who they faced yesterday. Quintana has very solid stats for being on a very bad team. He has like a ERA like around 3.5, I believe, if I look at Jose Quintana. So Jose Quintana this year overall. What is it? He's 3-5, 3.50 ERA, a WHIP of 1.27, 89 strikeouts in 103 innings this year, 20 games started. That's a pretty solid stat as well. So the Phillies do have their options. They definitely do. So most likely you're going to get a starting pitcher. That's overall what's going to happen. I would expect them to also get an outfielder. That's what I expect as well. But I do believe the starting pitcher is probably going to be the next move for this team. So if you see maybe you'll see it tomorrow after tomorrow's game, or you'll see it Monday during the day off. That's basically what I would expect at this point. So yeah, that's basically a wait and see type of thing. So looking at the chat here, Rydell said, "What's the point of DFAing Camargo for Sosa? Camargo also plays good defense and hits better." I didn't see anything about them DFAing Camargo, unless the Phillies just didn't announce that, because I don't remember them saying anything about Camargo at all. So here we go. Phillies send Yohan Camargo out for Sosa, who will be activated tomorrow. Okay, they did send Camargo down. I guess it is questionable, definitely. But I guess when you get Gene Segura definitely coming back, Bryson Stott's going to play a lot more still. So there are decisions that this team has to make, especially a lot of roster, because they have to shuffle the roster at least. Because, you're going to get Segura coming back, you're going to get Coonrod coming back, and now you got Sosa at the roster. And then whatever you do for a pitcher or something like that. I kind of do think if they make a trade, I think Moniak is going to be involved in the deal. That's just my feeling. But overall, Segura's going to come back. He's going to play second base most likely. They're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with Stott and Didi. I feel like Stott's going to get more of the playing time. So does that mean Didi's the odd man out? Do they try to move him in a trade or something like that? So they do have a lot of players in the infield. They do. So they got to make a decision there. They do. I don't think they're just going to bench Stott. That's not going to happen with how much playing time he's been getting. I think Stott's going to play a lot more, even with Segura coming back. So they're going to have a decision to make here, a big decision too. So you're basically just going to have to wait and see what happens. Scott says, I guess it's true what they say. Bad teams find ways to lose. If the Phillies win, the Cardinals did lose today to the Washington Nationals. So that's also a major help to the Phillies. The Cardinals lost, 7-6 to the Washington Nationals. I believe Josh Bell hit a go-ahead home run in the late innings to give the Nats the lead. So that's actually a huge help for the Phillies. So if I look at the wild card standings, Phillies are now a game ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals in that third wild card spot. So hey, the Nationals helped us, which is really nice to see. Really nice to see there. Daniel says Phillies taking care of business of bad teams, just like the Mets and the Braves. Yeah, basically that's all it is. Phillies, honestly, last year's Phillies team probably loses this game. So it kind of makes you believe that the Phillies are a little bit different this year, that they are taking care of bad teams more times than not. But still, there's still a lot of bad teams that to play against, so we'll wait and see on that point. What acquisitions do you see the Phillies making? basically, like I stated earlier, they are definitely going after a starting pitcher most likely. It's going to be in that third to fourth, fifth type of starter range. Like what we mentioned, Syndergaard's out there, Merrill Kelly, you got Jose Quintana out there. There's a lot of depth options that they can get for the starting rotation. So Dave Dombrowski has his options. I know I saw also a lot of Nathan Eovaldi also being brought up because maybe the Red Sox would be willing to move him. I'd be intrigued in a Nathan Eovaldi, but I know they've been saying he's had like back issues this year. So maybe I'll pry him away a little bit and maybe not go after him yet just because of the back issues, because back injuries are nothing to mess with. So Dave Dombrowski has his options, no doubt. Bilo says, glad the Phillies have some reliable relievers now in these close games helping the squad out. Yeah, the bullpen's been absolutely amazing over this stretch. It's been great. Been great. Phillies got Sosa because they are going to get rid of Didi to help the starting pitcher. That's my fear. Yeah, like I said, there could be an odd man out. I just don't think they're going to get Stott's playing time away with the way he's, how much playing time he's been playing. It's not like, okay, kid, you got all this playing time over this past couple of weeks. Now you're benched. Now you're basically a platoon guy. And I don't see that happening. You don't do that to a young player. You just don't. So they're going to have a decision to make when Segura comes back. As long as Knebel doesn't face the Mets, he'll be fine. You can't say anything bad about the bullpen last 2 games. 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 9 Ks, 0 walks. Oh, yeah, the bullpen's been flat out fantastic. Scott Lewis correct. Brogdon, Alvarado, Knebel, and Dominguez. Out of 95 total appearances, 85 of them have been scoreless. Yeah, the bullpen has been on a great scoreless streak as of late. So, yeah. Actually, I do want to look up that scoreless streak by Corey Knebel, because it's been a long scoreless streak. Where's it at? Oh, here we go. Is there a thing right here? Or is it Matt Gill that said it? Oh, here we go. 14 consecutive scoreless innings for Corey Knebel. So Corey's been really good. He's been really good lately with this entire bullpen. Bilotti looks fantastic today. Alvarado, yeah, he gave up the home run today, but overall he still looks solid. He's been looking solid ever since coming up from AAA. Seranthony Dominguez has been great all year. Brian Hand has been solid all year. Savvy Bet. Who else? Connor Brogdon's been solid. Nick Nelson, honestly, as a long reliever, has been solid. So, yeah, the bullpen's shaping up pretty nicely. And you're also going to be getting Sam Coonrod back eventually. So that'll bolster the bullpen up. Basically, if you take away Familia, your bullpen numbers look a lot better, honestly. Sosa, the new Steve Jeltz, all glove, no bat. Yeah, I did hear that too, Sean. They've had scouts in attendance to watch Noah Syndergaard, so they're definitely looking out there. Flyers discussion says Familia for Ohtani 1-for-1. Who says no to that? The Angels. The Angels do. Familia for a Wawa gift card straight up. I wouldn't mind that. Might have to throw in a sweetener. That Wawa card has a lot more value. Jim Salisbury should be putting a hearing aid in Nick Castellanos' locker. They're going after Ian and J.A. Happ. We're not. Is J.A. Happ even playing this year? Is he even playing? J.A. Happ. Is he playing? I need to see this. Is he playing this year? He's not. He's not playing this year. His last appearance was last year with the Cardinals. So, yeah. He's not playing this year, so I'm assuming his career is done at that point. Just J-Hap. That brings back memories from when he was started his career with the Phillies. It feels like the Braves just never lose. Well, the Braves are on a major hot run at this point. I feel like are the Braves winning currently right now? Mets won. Braves. Yeah, they play the Diamondbacks. They're playing the Diamondbacks. They're going to win those games. Do we have expanded? Yes, we do have expanded playoffs. There are 3 wild card spots. So there you go. There are 3 wild card spots, and that's how it's going to be for a while. All the Phillies can do is keep winning. Everything will take. Basically, that's all you do. You control your own destiny at this point. You have a lot of bad teams coming up. Take care of those bad teams. You're gonna be sprinkled in Braves, Mets here and there, where you're playing the Reds a lot, Nationals, Marlins, Diamondbacks eventually. You're going to be sprinkling a lot of bad teams here. So you have a chance to take care of a lot of business and do yourself a huge favor in the standings. You got to take advantage. In this series, the Phillies have taken advantage of. So continue to do that. You got after this series, a 2-game series in Atlanta. And then you come back home for a 4-game series against Washington. So that's another chance for you to take care of that business. And especially coming up with Washington, most likely they'll be Juan Soto-less. And a lot of other pieces gone. So they'll even be worse than they already are. So that's even a greater chance for you to take advantage of. There you go. Ken says he's feeling a complete game from Nola tomorrow. Hopefully that comes true. I'm sure he's going to want that bounce back from the Atlanta start. He definitely should be. Please tell me why I should give up on Nick. He's killing me. He's killing all of us, Scott. He is. It should be there. I just can't explain it. I can't. At the end, I just got to say, it's the Ben Simmons house that he lives in. The Ben Simmons house brings bad. Ben Simmons, anything, brings bad juju. It just does. It just does. The bat flip and gum chew after another K is so tough to watch. Any center field options? Michael A. Taylor for defensive purposes. Like I said, Michael A. Taylor's out there. What else? Ian Happ. There's a chance that Ian Happ could be traded. I'm trying to think of other center field options. I know Benintendi's off the market now because he's with the Yankees. What other center field options could there be? We go to MLB right now. MLB trade deadline. Looking at maybe center fielders. Can I specifically look for center fielders right now that are possibly on the market? Is free agency better to look that up too? I know free agency is weird. Roman Laureano. Oh yeah, that's also a possibility. I feel like he might be expensive though. I'm not sure what the Oakland Athletics would charge for him. I'm trying to see center fielders. Outfielders. Update. Trying to think. No. Joey Gallo is out there, but they're not going to go after Joey Gallo. Who else? I know Michael A. Taylor is one of them. Ian Happ's definitely one of them. So there are some options there. There's not one specific spot that I can look for outfielders. I feel like if you bring in Jackie Bradley, yeah, he does. I know Dombrowski does have ties there. Jackie Bradley, honestly. I know Jackie Bradley's an amazing defensive outfielder, but I know his bat is not good. If I look at his stats this year, honestly, for the Red Sox. Yeah, this year he's in 267 at bats. He has a 206 average with 3 home runs. On base percentage of 254, OPS of 564. Jesus, he's bad at the plate. He is bad at the plate. My God, he is terrible at the plate. Jesus. So how much money is he making too? Honestly, Jackie Bradley Jr. his contract. He is making $9.5 million. Would they be optional? I've heard rumors about Ian Happ. Michael A. Taylor could also be a possibility. A lot of the rumors that I've heard about are Ian Happ. So they do have their options. So we just got to basically wait and see. Yeah, Joey Galathro. Yeah, there's a lot of guys out in baseball right now that are just outfielders that are good, but they're not good hitters. Joey Gallo is basically just all power, no average. But even though this year overall he has been bad, just bad overall from a home run perspective, from an everything perspective besides his defense. I don't know if it's the pressure from New York, but I know pressure in New York is worse than it is here. But if Joey Gallo were on the Phillies, would it be any different? It's a good question mark there. Bring up the Carl Crawford kid now. It can't be worse than Odumbo Herrera. Yeah. But it was benched today, which was most likely expected. It was probably going to be benched regardless. Like, I do think if they trade for an outfielder, that most likely is going to spark the end for Double Herrera as well. Same thing for Mickey Moniak. I think if they trade for someone like a pitcher or an out, well, either for the pitcher or the outfielder, I think Mickey Moniak's gone regardless in the trade. So there's something to expect there. But yeah, overall, you got to win. You got to win. I wonder if the White Sox are going to sell. That's also a possibility. There are a lot of teams that you didn't expect out there that could sell. Like the Red Sox, they're below 500. They most likely could be sellers. Chicago White Sox, they were supposed to be better this year, way better. Tony La Russa is really killing that team. Tony La Russa is really hindering that team. But still, the players are also not performing to their capabilities as well. But I think Tony La Russa is a big factor into that. White Sox could be sellers. Who else? Detroit most likely would be. The Angels are going to be sellers, no doubt. Miami is going to be sellers. Oh, yeah, I've also heard Pablo Lopez as well could be on the market from the Marlins. But would the Marlins be willing to trade within the division? That's a question mark. Rockies are most likely sellers. Diamondbacks, Cubs, obviously, Pirates, Reds, Nationals. And honestly, this Juan Soto trade is going to be massive. It's going to be really massive. Because it does sound like the teams that are favored now are Dodgers, Padres, Cardinals, and Rangers. And from what I've heard today from Ken Rosenthal from Fox, right now he's saying that the Padres and the Cardinals could be the favorites out of those four. Is my prediction going to be right and he goes to the Padres? Could be. Could be. Could be, could be, could be, could be. But on the Phillies side, you have a chance to sweep tomorrow. Aaron Nola on the bump. Let's do it. Basically, put the Pirates in their place, get this 4-game sweep, and Aaron Nola have a bounce-back performance. Same thing with the offense, too. So that's where I'm going to end it, everyone. I appreciate everyone here that joins the stream as always. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to read those. Also, do not forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to check out everything in the description down below. Painted Lions, BrodesMedia. I recommend all that stuff. I recommend hitting the subscribe button. It goes a very, very long way. Also, don't forget to use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Use it for anything you can think of. It's a great deal. Do not pass it up. Use it. TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. I appreciate everyone here for joining. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next time. I said that twice, but it is what it is. It's been a long night. So see you, everyone.